back with you here in Las Vegas, our 30th year covering the Consumer Electronics Show. And we've run across something that it took us half an hour just to get up to their table, because everybody wants to see this next guest, more importantly, this next guest's products. So companionship, we all know, is important, especially for seniors with dementia. Wait a minute. No. And any kind of other ailments. Well, our next guest is someone that is a digital, physical, and emotional support robotic puppy manufacturer. He is, in fact, the CEO and founder of Tombot, and it's Tom Stevens. Hey, Tom, welcome into Tomorrow.
Dave, thank you so much for visiting.
Oh, it's our pleasure, and no wonder you're getting a lot of attention. So I'm petting. Is this Tombot?
This is Jennie.
This is Jennie.
The company's Tombot, and the product name is Jennie.
Gotcha. And this is a video, folks, that especially if you're only listening on the radio at the moment, you've got to visit intotomorrow.com. This is something unbelievable. And a great companion, I understand it, but you also had a particular passion, as I understand it, for you to start this company and produce what you're showing here.
I did. My mother, wonderful person all of her life, developed Alzheimer's dementia, and unfortunately she was no longer capable of caring for her robotic dog, her actual puppy. She had a 2-year-old golden doodle puppy that became a safety hazard for her. I had to rehome the dog. She was very unhappy with me. I looked around for substitutes for live animal companions. She disliked everything that I brought home, and I realized there was a very large gap in the market. So our first product to market is designed to treat the behavioral and psychological symptoms of dementia, reducing the need for certain medications, including psychotropics, and it is our aim for our robotic puppies to be the first of their kind to be FDA medical devices.
Wow, so they're actual medical devices, which makes it even more interesting. And how is it that are they responding to sounds around us, or how is it that they're doing what they're doing? And again, you got to see this because I'm petting it, and I don't know if it's doing different things because I'm petting it, but now the tail's wagging. Can you see that, Chris? Okay, talk to us.
So she's designed to be fully interactive. So like we do, she has a sensory system. She's covered with touch sensors. She can feel how and where she's being touched. She can tell the difference between a simple touch, a slow caress, a vigorous pet, and being held. She responds to a long list of voice commands, but only to her name. The robot comes standard named as Jennie, but part of our smartphone app capabilities is they can rename the robot, and then once named, they'll only respond to that given name.
So maybe a past pet that you've missed forever, and you want to just name the pet that, right?
My mom named all of her prototypes Bob. That's what she wanted, and so Bob the dog, Bob the robot dog. And she can feel herself being moved, and she knows if she's picked up, she shouldn't squirm around and risk being dropped. And a variety of other sensors to help her understand her environment and exhibit a behavior that's appropriate to that context. So she is a lap dog.
Did she just bark?
She did just bark.
Okay, I mean, it's very loud in here, so I'm not going to ask you to show some voice commands because she probably won't hear it. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But she just barked. How cute.
Yeah, so 5 mechanical subsystems. The mouth opens and closes, so she expresses herself in a number of different ways, including yawning, whining, howling, barking, yipping, snoring, which is what she usually does when I start talking. Her eyes open and close, the ears move, the head and neck moves in that really great way that only dogs can do, and of course the tail wags. And it's basically designed to help the user self-soothe through their mental health adversities. And with dementia, that can include loneliness, anxiety, depression, in my mother's case, hallucinations and violent anger.
So this is the kind of thing that can certainly help a lot of people. And it's not maybe just folks with dementia or seniors, which one day I'll be one. Yeah. The point being is that they can help a lot of people with different things, let alone being, kudos to you guys, an actual medical device.
Thank you very much. So the product was designed specifically for seniors with dementia, but we were very surprised. We did a survey of our 8,000 pre-order and waitlist customers, and we found that 56% of them were actually ordering it for a different reason. So children with autism and other developmental disabilities, adolescents and adults with severe anxiety, depression, suicide risk, PTSD, bipolar, OCD, ADHD. And so it's designed through basically emotionally attaching to this to stimulate positive changes in the brain's neurochemistry, which helps them self-soothe through those mental health conditions.
Man, and what a good point about with kids with developmental problems or otherwise, because they can really relate to a robotic puppy.
And oftentimes families with young children that are struggling with some kind of health adversity really aren't up for the burden of dealing with a live animal. And even if someday they are, this can help be a good transition product to help educate the young person on how to care properly for an animal, treat it in a very ethical way, a moral way, and then once they're ready for a live animal, transition to that.
And in the meantime, you don't have to take her out, you don't have to walk her, you don't have to carry a poop bag or anything like that, right? But yet it's teaching, especially kids or even seniors with dementia, how to care for something like this, because you're not going to drop it, you're not going to throw her around.
Exactly. So our technology, we have the option of turning on a negative feedback, so an adverse consequences. So if I were to throw the robot on the ground, and I'm not going to
No, please don't.
The dog would yelp. It would act as if it was in pain, and
a real dog would do if you were abusing it.
Exactly right. So to help people understand that this is a sensitive thing, and they should treat it respectfully. And if it were a live animal, that could really result in a serious injury.
Not only that, but jail time, I hope, for someone who abused an animal.
Hopefully nobody's doing too terribly serious things.
Exactly. Is the robot puppy available yet?
It is not yet. We just are finishing up our Alpha 2 pre-production models. We'll be entering beta soon, and hopefully having these in customers' hands in the not too distant future.
It's a slightly into tomorrow, I would.
Slightly into tomorrow. It will be tomorrow for sure. There's a reason why hyper-realistic robotic animals have not existed before. It's very difficult technology, and but the good news is we're past most of the R&D challenges. It's really about getting the product ready for production so that we can consistently reproduce a high quality product. And once we're there, we'll start fulfilling orders.
And any idea as to cost yet?
We do. We're both a B2C and a B2B company.
She likes that question. The tail's wagging like crazy.
Sell me. Hurry up. I'm bored here. The B2C side is a family member who would buy it on behalf of a loved one with dementia, and we'll sell it to them for a one-time price of $1,500. And B2B, these are hospitals, skilled nursing, assisted living, memory care facility operators. They can buy it the same way, but most want to get into a long-term rental. And so for a much smaller amount per month, be able to acquire it that way and then provide it to their patients either at cost or for a markup, and it can potentially become a new revenue center for them.
Oh, sure. And I would imagine not only a revenue center for a hospital or nursing home or what have you, but what a great opportunity for someone who might be just temporarily in need of something like this. And then, of course, they're going to say, no, I want one now. Where do I get it?
Exactly. So in a very serious side, there's hospice, where people who are end stage life, they're not going to want to buy a product necessarily. And so having a situation where they can get into a rental makes a lot of sense. We also have one of our investors that said, well, what about airplanes? And I go, what do you mean? He said, well, the airplanes, they don't want these live emotional support animals anymore. What if we set up kiosks at hospitals, or in airports rather, and people could rent the robot for their flight and then drop it off at another kiosk at the far end? So our goal is to help as many people with as many mental health adversities as they may be facing, either with our first product or with future products that we develop.
And I'll need one soon. At least senior and dementia and all the rest of it.
Just because you're a senior doesn't mean you have dementia.
Well, that's true, but ask my staff. They'll disagree. Tombot.com, right?
That is correct.
And your first name, bot.com.
So it wasn't an ego thing. My mom was very happy that I was working on robots for her, and that was even so she couldn't tell me in late stage dementia what she had for breakfast in a given day, but she always remembered that I was working on robots and it's what she wanted to talk about. And one day she asked me, she said, well, what are you going to call it? And I go, what do you mean? She said, what are you going to call the company? I said, I don't know, Mom, what do you think? And she said, well, what about Tom? And I go, well, maybe not Tom exactly.
Well, let's add bot to it.
Add bot to that.
Now folks will remember.
So her legacy is not only the inspiration for the product, but her legacy, she named me and she named the company and lives on with hopefully with all the many millions of people that we can help in the future.
Sure. And fond memories, and that's really what you're looking for too as a family member.
Exactly.
You want to make them comfortable, you want to make it easy for them, and especially if it's a hospice situation or something, hey, what can we do to make mom or dad, deal with this a little more comfortably, I guess.
Exactly, and also for the care provider as well. The challenging behaviors, as they're sometimes referred to, associated with dementia, become full-time occupations for a caregiver. Family caregivers are much more likely to experience depression because with dementia, as opposed to many other serious mental health disorders.
And many times more so than the patient, because it's the family members that are having a rough time dealing with it as well.
Exactly, and so anything that we can do to make life easier on the family, on the care staff, that's what we're aimed at doing, and that's really part of the tech in the product.
Gotcha. Well, our videographer Chris, his girlfriend and her two boys, young boys, have been begging him to get a dog. And he says, who's going to walk it? Who's going to deal with it? Who's going to take care of it? You guys won't. Oh, yes, we will. We promise you. Well, this is a good start.
Grandpa's going to walk them.
Oh, yeah, sure. Right. Exactly. Tom, you're a delight to chat with.
Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. And I thank you. And I wish you much success. And by the time they're rolling out, I'll need one, so you can keep me in mind.
Well, hopefully get them out well before that.
Very good. I like this guy. Tombot, as in robot. And Tom, only reverse it, all right? Tombot, there you go, .com. We'll get you there when you hit us up at intotomorrow.com. I'm Dave Graveline. Much more coming to you from Las Vegas and CES 2025, right here on the Advanced Media Network.